Hello everybody, welcome to Weston People. My name is James Richardson. Welcome to the show. Today we've got Victoria Helen Turner. Hello Victoria.
Hello.
Pleased to meet you. Now, Victoria is an author of romantic fantasies. Romantic fantasies, these books that she's written are absolutely fantastic. So, Victoria, tell us a little bit about what a romantic fantasy is.
Well, romantic fantasies are sort of a romance against a background of the supernatural.
Okay.
Not necessarily ghosts, because in this one it's about time travel.
Right, okay. So there's all sorts of different elements of fantasy in there.
Yeah, but there is a ghost in the last one.
There is a ghost. So there's a bit of paranormal, there's time travel, and there's one there as well called, is it called Always?
Always, yes.
Okay.
Which is that one.
Wonderful. And it's got somebody in there called Tyrone Power?
Well, he isn't actually in, but the character in the book is inspired by the Hollywood legend Tyrone Power, who was of the Errol Flynn generation, but he died young.
Right, and for those people who don't really know very much about Tyrone Power, what sort of character was he?
Well, he was extremely handsome.
Okay.
And he made a lot of swashbuckling films.
Okay.
And he died in 1958.
Right.
There's a big thing on the internet about him if anyone wants to find out about him.
Wonderful. And so the novel Always with Tyrone Power, what is that? What's the book about?
Well, it's about a girl it's set in 1990. It's about a girl or a woman in modern times who travels back in time because she's in love with this film star who died young.
Yeah, wonderful. So, the books that you've written, tell me a bit about the books. What are the names of the books? Apart from the one of Always, obviously.
The first one was Star Crystal, Daughter of Snow White and Other Stories.
Okay.
That was a sequel to Snow White, together with original fairy stories, like an anthology. Oh,
that sounds fantastic. And now, if I can get the term correct, that one is under what's known as a pen name.
Yes.
So anybody looking for that book won't find it under the name Victoria Helen Turner. No. They'll actually find it under which name?
Annabella Stewart.
Right, okay. And what could you describe to everybody at home what a pen name is?
A pen name is a false name that you choose if you don't want your own name on the book.
Right.
For various reasons.
Right, okay, lovely job. And I suppose sometimes if it's your first book, you don't want people to know who's written it and who you are. And okay, yeah, that's absolutely lovely.
That's right.
So when did you start writing?
Well, I started originally seriously writing when I was about 14. But I had other ambitions at the time, so I didn't go in for it really seriously till I joined Weston Writers' Circle in 1978.
Okay, is that when you came to Weston in 1978?
Yes.
And what consists of a writer's circle? What's it all about?
Well, it's a little group of people, usually amateur writers, and they either write what they want and read it out, or a set subject is given them, and we write a bit, and then read it out to each other, and have constructive criticism.
Wonderful, wonderful. And does that still exist in Weston?
Well, I've joined a new one. It's been going about 6 months now.
Okay, so there is one in Weston.
Yes.
And is it for anybody?
Yes, anybody can join.
Yeah?
The more the merrier, I should think.
Is there any membership fees, or is it free to go
not
to?
At the moment, it's more or less free.
That's wonderful.
It's the price of a drink.
So how can people find out about the Writers' Circle? Because I'm sure in Weston there's a lot of talented people, and I'm also sure there's probably a lot of writers as well. Yeah,
well, if they get in touch with Brian Humphreys...
Right.
I think he's probably got a website or something.
Right, and Brian Humphreys will have a website to go on to.
Yes, I think he's probably got one.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
He's probably got one. And I'm sure that also if they go on and they Google Writers' Circle Weston Supermare, I'm sure something must come up.
Yes, they're called Weston Writers Wordsmiths.
Fantastic. Also, you've been known not only to do romantic fantasies, but also to do children's stories as well.
Yes.
When was that?
Well, originally I had some on Radio Bristol in 1985.
That's wonderful.
In fact, one or two of them are actually in this book.
And did you enjoy that?
Yes.
You did?
Yes. It was on Kids Corner, which a long time ago now.
I remember Kids Corner. I remember listening to it very much. It was a very similar, but on the radio instead of television, to Jack and Ori.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. Now, that was in 1985. So, Star Crystal, which was obviously by yourself, Annabella Stewart, as a pen name at the time. If anybody wants to find your books, they can find them in Waterstones.
Waterstones or Amazon and a lot of other internet bookshops.
Yeah.
As well as the publisher's website, the Author House.
Right. And obviously, having sort of read one of them myself, I must say that they are a very, very interesting read and not very easy to put down, if I'm honest with you. So, no, well done. Very, very well written.
Good.
Now, what are your future plans?
Well, at the moment I'm working on an historical novel, which is a bit different from what I usually do.
Yeah.
And it's about a real-life Cinderella story. About an American girl who married an English aristocrat.
Okay.
And she was very famous. Her husband is buried near Bath. That's how I got to the story.
Right.
Martha Mees, Somerset.
Right. And is there any sort of truth to any of these parts in the book? Is there, or is it just is it romantic fantasy? Is it something which...
Most of it is fact.
It is fact?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. And it's all local fact as well?
Yes.
And what's it called?
It's called The Glass Staircase.
The Glass Staircase. And when do you feel that should be completed by?
Well, it'll probably take me another year or so.
Sure. But I suppose if anybody contacts ourselves here at Weston Super Televisions or Waterstones, they'll be able to tell us when it comes out.
Hopefully, yes.
That's marvellous, absolutely marvellous. So, have you any plans other than that? Any sort of historical plans, any hobbies that you do in your spare time, if there is any spare time?
Yes, I'm an amateur singer.
Oh, okay.
I have private lessons in singing.
Right.
And I appear in my teachers' concerts from time to time.
And is that in Weston?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
And which concerts have you been in?
Well, they're her private concerts.
Right.
She has them at Qstoke Village Hall.
Oh, okay. So again, nice and local as well.
Yes.
Is that normally near the Christmas time, or is it...
Near Christmas. She's just had one. And then in the spring.
And can anybody go to them?
Well, they know somebody who knows her.
Sure.
They can buy a ticket, yes.
That sounds brilliant. Well, I mean, to be fair, most of the people that you've met in the past have been from Weston, but you have also met some very famous people as well.
Yes.
Can you name a couple?
Well, I met Geoffrey Archer once.
Okay.
At a luncheon, and he signed a book for me.
Yeah.
And I have met one or two famous people. I've met Daphne Fowler.
Right, yes.
Because she's been to various functions I've been to.
Yeah.
So, yes, I have come across a few.
You have done, yeah, absolutely. And you've also, from what I can remember from what you've said to me, you met Julie Cooper?
Well, I didn't actually meet her, but I was on the book club which Points West used to run.
On Points West?
Yes.
And what were you doing on Points West to do with Julie Cooper?
We talked about one of her books that had just come out.
And do you know which book it was?
I can't remember the
No, that's all right. From what I can remember, Julie Cooper's books were a little bit steamy as well.
Yes, this one was.
Fantastic.
It was very, very amusing too.
Very much so.
Yes.
Ah, good. I mean, I won't confess I've read any, obviously, but I'll have to take your word for that.
Yes.
And poetry as well. You've written poetry?
Yes.
Okay, what sort of poetry have you written?
Well, the last two have been semi-religious poetry.
Yeah.
I had one in the Southwest. It was called the Southwest Book of Poetry or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about El Cid,
right.
hero of Spain.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, during the Holy War, wasn't it, El Cid?
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yes.
Well, if you want to come and see any of these books that Victoria's written, and they are absolutely fantastic books, they really are, you need to come and have a look at them. You can go to Waterstones, Amazon, or anywhere at all. And don't forget, anybody in Weston who wishes to write novels, poetry, wants any constructive criticism, or really wants to start a career in writing, the Writer's Corner in Weston Supermare. Okay, so get together and you may be seeing Victoria there as well. Well, thank you very much, and Victoria, thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.